So you've gotten your first brand ungated on Amazon and you don't know what to do next. It's all good because in this video, I'll be explaining exactly what to do. And the best part about this is that you won't have to spend a single dollar on products to get ungated using this method. What's up everyone? My name is Trey, AKA the Amazon GOAT. And this upcoming October, I will hit 5 years selling on Amazon. I've helped hundreds of people either start and or scale their Amazon FBA business to a full-time income. And I want you to be next. If you get any value from this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and hit the subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. What's up family? Let's get right into today's video. I'm going to be showing you what to do next once you've gotten your first brand ungated using an actual invoice that Amazon deemed legit and enough for you to go ahead and get approved. So hopefully you got approved in a grocery brand. If you didn't, if you got something else in a different category approved already, that's perfectly fine. What I will recommend you do is get something in the grocery brand or grocery category, a brand in the grocery category, ungated as soon as you can. And for many reasons, but one of the main reasons is grocery is a category that is very low risk for beginner sellers. It's something that I recommend to anyone that I work with one-on-one that is a complete beginner, because grocery is a category that, you know, has very low cost products, you know, products where you can buy them for $3 and sell them for $9.99 and actually make solid profit, right? That's one of the reasons, right? So when you're first starting out, being able to access lower cost per unit products is, you know, it's going to be good for you. Just starting out, to get your feet wet, to buy your first products, to make your first sales, you know, buying something that's a little bit on the lower priced side is going to be good, right? You don't want to jump into things and buy your first product that you want to buy 10 units of something that's $50, right? You know, that's a lot more risky. So that's the main reason that you want to get a grocery brand ungated and, you know, the grocery category unlocked. But outside of that, you know, the grocery category has some perks and benefits to it as well. Grocery products are non-returnable, meaning you don't have to deal with any returns. Customers won't be able to return the product back to you, and who really wants to deal with a grocery product that's, you know, returned for whatever reason. Now, you also are going to get very low refunds on grocery products, because the only way a customer can get a refund on a grocery product is if the product is either expired or it arrives to the customer damaged. And both of those things are sort of in your control in terms of, you know, you checking the expiration date on the product, making sure that it's, you know, good. And once it gets to the customer, they have an ample amount of time to consume the product before it goes bad. That's the first check mark. The second thing is, you know, if you're dealing with a more fragile product, you want to make sure that you prep the product and package it in a way that, you know, it's not going to be moving around in boxes or have the ability to break or become damaged in transit to the customer. So again, as long as you're staying in control of what you can control, you're not going to get, for one, any returns. You're not going to get any refunds either, as long as, you know, you're doing your part, making sure that the product's not expired, or, you know, it's not coming up on expiration, and you prep and package, you know, these grocery products in a way where it's not going to be damaged on in transit to the customer. So those are the main reasons why, again, I recommend as a beginner seller to jump into the grocery category. It is, again, less risky than some of the other categories, and you can really do your due diligence. Buy your first few products with very low risk, and really be able to go through the basics. Go through the processes that are going to be necessary for you to go through before you start pouring more and more money, energy, and time into your business. So that's number one. So if you already have grocery and that was the first product or first brand that you got ungated, great. You are already moving in the right direction. And again, today I want to show you what you can do next. Now, I don't have a magical wand that's just a magical formula that's going to, allow you to get approved any other way than, what you've seen people talk about online, or, even on here on YouTube. Uh, Whatever Amazon's requesting is usually what they are expecting to see in terms of what you're submitting. So if they're asking for 100 units and you submit a 10 unit invoice, I'm not saying that, that's the worst thing to do. But just know that you're going to have to resubmit that document multiple times. I'm talking about in the 10 to 20 to 30 range in order for it to finally go through. I believe that if Amazon's requesting 100 units and you send in a 100 unit invoice, it will be a lot less, times that you have to resubmit for you to get approved. Regardless, there are brands out here that are asking for 10 units. And what we're going to be talking about today, which is an even different side and category of products that you can attack, already having one brand ungated, is the brands that you are now going to be auto ungated now that you've gotten one grocery brand ungated. So it used to be 8 months to a year to even before then, that once you got one grocery brand ungated, that basically unlocked the entire grocery category. So that meant, like, if you got the Hershey's brand ungated, then you could not only sell all of the Hershey's products, you could also sell Lifesavers. You could sell Bob's Red Mill. You could sell all the grocery brands that are out there, right? It wasn't until pretty recently that Amazon became more strict, right? When you get that first brand approved, you're not going to be approved in every single grocery brand out there, but you are going to be approved in more than just that one brand that you've got ungated. So it's really going to be on you to go ahead and check to see what brands you can actually sell now that you've gotten one ungated. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I want you all to be able to, either follow along or do this in your own time. I think this is some really good time, time well spent, I should say, doing this, because you're going to unlock a good amount of brands. You'll be able to see the other types of brands that you can sell and really start, you can create a spreadsheet of all the grocery brands that you're ungated in, or you can, go into Seller Central and just go to all of your approvals within Seller Central as well. But it's a good feeling not only to get approved to sell in a brand and see that a brand is an auto ungate. It's a good feeling to see that, thanks for your submission. You are now approved to sell, this brand. It's good to see that, but it also unlocks opportunities in those brands as well. Now you're going to be able to source and look for profitable products in brands that you're now auto ungated in. So what's up, family? I'm just checking in, making sure that you're either taking notes or following along on your side. But what I've noticed working with hundreds of people directly one-on-one
is that the ones who take action on the information the fastest usually get the fastest results. And I mean, who doesn't want fast results? All right, let's get back into the video.
Let's get right into it. Enough of my yapping, enough of my talking. You're going to pull up Keepa on your side, and we're going to go straight into the data tab, product finder. If this is a tool that you've never used before, I should by now, by the time you're seeing this, I should have a KPF, Keepa Product Finder tutorial video on YouTube. If I don't already have it up, it will be up, fairly soon. So just be on the lookout for it. But again, like in all of my videos, if you have any questions while we're going through this, definitely leave a comment. You can DM me as well, but leave a comment on this video and I'll, reply back with an answer as soon as I can. But this Keepa Product Finder is going to allow you to put in specific filters that are going to allow you to see the products that you want to see. And that's just Keepa Product Finder in a nutshell. We're not going to dive deep into how to use it, what to do, this and that. This is just something that, again, you can do on your side, put this information into action today, and just literally copy and paste what I'm about to do. So first up, we got the sales rank, and I'm not going to go over each specific filter that we go into. If you don't know what a sales rank is, you should definitely get to know what the sales rank is. There's plenty of vocab lists out there, and if you want something like that, or just like a vocabulary list, an Amazon FBA vocab list, or buzzwords that you want to know the definitions for, leave a comment and I'll send something over to you as well. But sales rank, we're going to go 0 to 500,000, and the goal of this KPF search is going to be opening up as many different grocery brands as we can, because we want to go through one by one and be able to see what brands we're auto ungated in now that we've already gotten our first approval, using documentation that Amazon actually approved, right? So 0 to 500,000 sales rank. We're going to leave this buy box filter open. Amazon, we don't care whether they're in stock or out of stock. And we're just going to scroll all the way down to the root category, which is going to be grocery and gourmet food. We want to make sure we put that in there. And then the last filter that we're going to put into play is this new offer count. We're going to put 3 in here. So we're going to be looking at all of the products, which is 100,000, 102,000 products that have at least 3 sellers on the listing. That is 0 to 500K sales rank. That's in the grocery and gourmet food category. The reason why we put 3 in the new offer count section is because we want to steer away from either private label or generic brands that may only have like 1 or 2 sellers on the listing. Those listings and you getting approved for those brands are not going to help you or your account health in any way, especially if you actually sell a product that is private label, or has IP complaint history, or is a generic brand. All 3 of those are what you need to stay away from. So when you're using KPF, make sure that you put this 3. You can even put 4 in there to like make 100% sure that these listings that we're going to be looking at are all going to be products that multiple sellers are selling. That's going to confirm that, if 4 people are selling this, 4 third-party sellers are selling this, I could jump on the listing and be the 5th one, and it wouldn't hurt my health, my account health, It wouldn't do any damage to anything that has to do with my account. So we want to keep that safe, and we want to play by the rules. We don't want to sell private label branded products because you know we're not the owner of that private label brand. So bam, we got 4 in there. You can do 3 or 4, it doesn't matter. There's 73,000 products right here, so that's a great number. So we're just going to press that find products. Again, the goal of this is to be able to pull up as many different products of as many different brands. So as you can see, when we first pull it up, it's already filtered by sales rank, which is okay, but like I said, we want to be pulling up products of all the different brands. We don't want to, have to go through and, Celsius is obviously number 1 sales rank wise, and we would have to, scroll through and get to Premier Protein. We see that there's a whole bunch of flavors, whole bunch of different variations of the same product. So one thing you can do is just come to this bought in the past month column, click that once, and let it load up. And now it's going to be a lot more, jumbled up in terms of, you're not going to see 10 Celsius products all in a row, right? So again, the goal is to pull up as many different brands as possible, because we're literally just going to go through and see if we're approved to sell some of these brands. So you can just pull up as many different brands, as many products as you want. Click on the Amazon button right here. Bam. And as you're scrolling through this, if you see like any brands of products that you've seen before or heard of, or maybe had yourself, definitely make sure you open those up just to see again if you can actually sell that brand. Right now you don't know what you can sell and what you can't. So the best way to really figure that out is this, because we're seeing all sorts of brands, right? McCormick, Mrs. Dash, Big Red, although I wouldn't necessarily recommend selling sodas. Bam, Gunter's. All right, so that's enough for this tutorial and for example purposes. We're going to pull these up, but you're going to be the difference between what you're seeing now and what you're seeing on my end versus what you will see on your end is that you're going to be logged into your Amazon seller account. So when you pull these products up, the eligible panel or whatever in Seller Amp, it's going to say yes or no. So you will already see on your end whether you can sell the brand or not, right? A majority of these are going to say no for you if you have only gotten one brand ungated and you're a beginner seller, which is totally fine. This is the process of what you're going to do, again, to check to see if you're approved to, if you're auto approved to sell this brand. So we got organic Tatva. Never heard of that brand before, but irregardless, we're going to scroll down, and again, it would be right here for you, and it would say, I believe, manual ungate. Should be a button that says manual ungate right here instead of log in. This is the button that you're going to press, manual ungate, right? It's going to take you straight into Seller Central. Like I said, just be logged into Seller Central, and the right buttons will pop up. And when you press that manual ungate, it's going to take you right into Seller Central, right? The next page is going to be for you to press the request approval button, right? So once you get on that next page, you're going to press request approval, and you're going to wait a second, and one of two things are going to happen. First is it's going to ask you to submit documents. It's going to ask you to submit documents to get approved for the brand, right? Probably the exact thing that happened for you on the first brand that you got ungated, where you had to click all the boxes, you had to upload your invoice, upload whatever documentation you used, whether you took pictures of the products or you sent the order confirmation, the shipping confirmation, whatever you did, to show Amazon that these products are legit. The supplier that I got it from provided me with an invoice that's legit. Here you go, Amazon. Let me get my approval, right? So that's the first thing that's going to happen is the Amazon's going to ask you to submit documents to get approved, right? If that happens, cool. That means X out of that page and move on to the next product. Because the second thing that can happen after you press that request approval button is thank you for submitting your submitting your application. You are now approved to sell organic Tatva, right? That means that you are auto approved. So in that case, bam, now this is another brand that you're approved to sell, right? And essentially you're just going to go through as many of these as possible. Right here, we have 70, or it says 10,000. I guess they're only going to show us 10,000 products, but regardless, 10,000 products. We see total results is 73,244. There are tons and tons and tons of different brands that are just in here, right? Brands that you've never heard of, brands that you've maybe seen before, brands that you maybe have bought yourself, right? The goal is to open up as many of these different products, because this one right here, I can tell from just experience working with people one-on-one that this Louisiana fish fry products brand is something that should be an auto approval for all beginners, right? All you got to do is what we just the same process that we just talked about, right? You go ahead and hop on Seller Amp, press request approval. Man, I don't know what's good with my connection, but hop on Seller Amp, scroll down. Right here is where the manual ungate button is going to be. Click that. It's going to take you into Seller Central. That's where you're going to press request approval. And the next page is going to say, thank you for your application. You are now approved to sell Louisiana fish fry products on Amazon. So, bam, this is what you should be doing next once you have your first grocery brand ungated that you use proper documentation for, that Amazon deemed was legit supplier, legit documentation that you submitted. That's great. Now you have unlocked some other brands that you just may not know of. This is a process that you can do every single day if you wanted to, because that's how many grocery brands are really going to be in here. And just to recap, we're going to go through the filters one last time real quick. Sales rank, I did 0 to 500,000. There's 73,000 products. If you get through all 73,000 and you want to up this sales rank to, 1,000,000, you can do that. And there's going to be a lot more products, right? 73,000, well, it turned into 76,000. So 3,000 more products, popped up. We got the sales rank. Cool. Bam. Grocery and gourmet food category. This is definitely going to be important. You don't want to be in other categories, right? And then lastly, we got a new offer count of either 3, 2, or 4, 2. 4, 2 is going to really confirm that, these are arbitrage friendly brands and not private label, generic, or brands that have IP issues. So I hope you all got some value from this video. Again, I hope that you are on your other side, following along and just doing the same thing, or you taking notes so that you can go ahead, hop in, and start this process as soon as possible, right? Like I said, it's no better feeling than seeing that you got approved to sell a brand, especially as a beginner, because right now it might feel like you can't sell anything. But if you got approved in one brand, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to get auto approved in a good amount of other grocery brands if you just hop in to Keepa and do this, right? So, if you all can, the only thing that I ask is that you uh, put a comment down below if you do get approved in any brand by doing the exact process that we just went over. If you throw a yes, if you throw a I got approved, or throw something in the comment section that is going to let people know that doing something like this is actually going to work, and you can help other sellers out, other beginners as well that are either struggling right now trying to get approved in different brands, or a little discouraged about not being able to sell certain brands, or being restricted on certain things. Like I said, this is definitely an encouraging process, and something to do again that's going to help motivate you, seeing all of the approvals that you're able to get. Now, I'm not saying all of these brands are going to be auto approvals, but most of them are going to be no's, but there are going to be a good amount of yeses if you're able to get through all the no's. Just move on to the next one. If it's asking you to submit documentation, move on to the next one, right? We want to find the ones that are, the next page is thank you for submitting the application. You're now approved, right? So again, if you got any value from this video, make sure to leave a comment. Let people know that it worked for you. And that's it for today. I hope you got some value, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace and love.
You made it all the way through to the end, so I know you're serious about starting your Amazon FBA business off in the right direction. If you have any questions about today's tutorial, make sure to drop a comment down below and I'll reply with an answer as soon as I can. Also, drop a comment down below if this method worked for you and you were able to get a brand or brands ungated that you had no idea you were auto approved to sell. Q4 is right around the corner, so let's make sure that we are prepared to make the most internet money we ever have. I'll see you all in the next video.